Hey guys, it's King Slay here. Here to slay your life, honey. Today's look is gonna be this beats boy beats look. Ha ha ha! This is something that you guys out there that love makeup as much as me can rock, and nobody will be like,
damn, you got all that makeup on.
but they be like,
damn, you look like a goddess or whatever.
and you could be like,
I am a goddess or whatever.
If you are interested in seeing how I did this boy beats, keep watching. So I've already done my brows off camera, and now it's time to do some foundation. So I'm using my Studio Fix Fluid in the color NC35. And I'm taking about a pump and a half on the back of my hand, and I'm just going to work that in the skin. And you always want to start your foundation from the center of your face, because that's how you'll be more flawless. And I went for a darker brow today, guys, because I know most guys won't have blonde brows. And also because I have like this weird stuff going on with my hair right now, where it's like in that awkward growing stage. So I didn't really feel like blonde brows were necessary. And it's definitely going to be a more glam look. This is like something that I would do if I'm going out. And make sure to bring this a little bit down the neck. Alright, now we're going to pile on the concealer. For the first concealer, I'm going to use this Pro Concealer. So first I'm going to use the color Medium Beige from LA Girl. And I'm going to put that on as my correcting color under my eyes, because it has a pink base to it. If you don't have any darkness under your eyes, you can kind of skip this. And I always bring it on the sides of the nose, because that's where we get really red. And then you want to go ahead with your sponge and tap that out. I just take whatever's left over on the nose. My product from the top of my nose always like disappears first, so I like to take a little bit of product over there. And now we're going to do the second concealer. I'm going to actually mix two. I'm going to mix my Prolong Wear Concealer with my Mineralized Skin Finish Concealer. The Prolong Wear Concealer is in NC25 and the Mineralized Concealer is in NC20. And I'm just going to take a little bit of both and mix them on the back of my hand. And the reason why I like to mix them is, one, because I want it to be very bright under the eye, and also because the Prolong Wear is a very dry formula. And since it's wintertime and I get a little bit more on the drier side, I don't want to put anything too drying under my eyes because it will crease a lot quicker. And we're
gonna go ham with this.
So starting in the corner, bringing it down, and I'm actually gonna not put it directly under the eye. And we're actually gonna pat that out, because the Prolong Wear Concealer is mixed into the Mineralized Concealer. It'll actually begin to start drying really quickly. So we're gonna pat this one out before we do the other eye. So you always want to blend it down first, and then bring the excess up under the eye. That'll help with any creasing. Now let's do the other side. I always bring that really close to the sides of my nose. Now I'm going to take a little bit of that down the center of the nose. A little on the Cupid's bow. The tiniest bit on the chin. I do not like to go too bright on the chin because it'll look really artificial. Now we're gonna set all that. I'm going to use my MAC Prep and Prime powder in the color Translucent. And first I'm going to tap out that concealer, and then we're going to use that to kind of bake under the eyes. And it was probably a bad idea to wear a black shirt for this. And I also like to take a little bit of that powder on the sides of the nose. Reason being is because that's usually where I get the most shiny. So it'll kind of prevent that. So as you see, this is my form of baking. I don't want to do a heavy powder and put a whole lot under, but I did put more than what I need just because it will bake it, but it won't get so dry under the eye. Now as that's working itself into my skin, we're going to contour a little bit. I'm going to be using my favorite, Sun Bunny and Chocolate Soleil. If you guys want to see an in-depth video on just contouring itself, let me know in the comment section below. And as you can probably see, I like to go a bit ham with the bronzer, but it's all good because if you don't want this much bronzer, you can just put it on a lot lighter or use a different brush. If you want a lighter application, try using a stippling brush like this. If you want a application like me, you could use one of these brushes. Now time to get rid of them chins. And what I like to do too is take a little bit of a smaller brush. This is the same kind of brush, it's just a little bit smaller and not so dense. Take a little bit of my bronzer and kind of do that. So pinch it a little bit and kind of work it in the crease. Now the reason why I'm not using an eyeshadow brush is because it'll be too precise. And we kind of just want it looking like your natural pigment on your eye. And this is a good thing to do too because since it's going against that lighter color here, it'll kind of make the cheekbones look more lifted, you know? You don't have to do blush, but if you do decide to use blush, I would use something that's a little bit more neutral. I'm using Bellissimo Brands from Milani, which is a shiny one. This is what I do, but if you prefer to have a matte, if you prefer to have a matte blush, then that works as well. Just go for something that is a nice, like, color that complements the skin. So I smile. So now I'm going to take a brush and wipe off that under eye powder. If you're not going to do this extra bright under eye and you're going to set your under eye, you should do it with a colored powder if you can avoid the translucent, just because I'm using a color powder on top of translucent, so it won't give me flashback in pictures. But if you're just looking to do one powder, I would do a color powder because a translucent by itself sometimes gives a flashback. And I'm going to take my bronzer color. And I'm just going to start from that top brow. Really, really lightly with the tip of my brush. Just put it on the sides of the nose. It's kind of going to contour the nose, but not so much. And take whatever's left over on the brush and kind of do the nostrils. And now I'm just going to take a big fluffy brush. This one's from Sedona Lace. And I'm just going to blend everything out. Now we're going to highlight. And I'm using Oh Darling from MAC. I'm just placing that on the higher point of the cheek. And you can stop there, but I like to put a little bit on the tip of the nose. And the cupid stuff, and whatever's left over under the brow. Now you want to do a spray. I'm doing the Mary Badescu Rose Water. And the spray's going to be good since we use so many powders. It'll kind of melt everything into each other. And if I was really going out, I would use the Urban Decay setting spray to set as well over this spray, just because that will keep my makeup on all day long and I can sweat in the club and I'm still gonna be popping. And don't forget to put on chapstick. I don't have none, but don't forget to put that shit on. And that, my friends, is the final look. Any guy can wear it. It's definitely a more glam look than normal, but if you want to rock it, do you. And remember, life is your runway, so bitch, you better work. I'm back with an 808 cause I'm bossy.